Hello, FCA families. My name is Noah Brink. It is homecoming week here at FCA, and it is such a great joy to be able to see all the many things happening on campus. The very fact that we have a homecoming, the fact that we have a growing alumni association, the fact that Hugh Harris has been helping us build that growing alumni association is a great celebration of the Lord's faithfulness to our school. Homecoming, alumni, even that is a visible reminder of the image that we've talked about with the silo here at the heart of our From the Silo series. That we've talked about the education, the culture, the community, the pillars of our school. It's all intended to invest into the lives of our school, to lay a foundation for when they will be sent out. So when our alumni come back to school and we hear of what God is doing as they have followed His calling into various areas, that is a reminder, this is why we're about the good things that we do at FCA. So homecoming is not merely just something that schools are supposed to do. It is a pause. It is a chance for us to recenter, to come back together and say, this is why we're about the mission and vision of FCA. This is why we're excited about the many things that God is doing, not just today, but we trust in what He will do in the future. As we've said, that as we continue to pour into the silos of their hearts and their lives, trusting that as they leave the school and as they go from a years of plenty, that as they face whatever God has in store for them, that they will have sure footing. So homecoming is far more than just the traditions of a school, whether it's Christian or not. And yet, there's much to celebrate. It's fun. School should be fun. And here on campus, there have been so many great things happening this week. We've had the opportunity to celebrate, to do some things a little bit differently. Some of you have probably heard about some of the changes we've made to our house system. And I want to celebrate the great work that Mac Swan has done in order to help us re-envision the house system. If you remember, and if you've been around FCA for very many years, or even if you're new, you've probably know that in the past we've had 4 houses. Well, we made a switch. We believe that the house system is vital to the life of the school. But we added 2 additional houses and then reshuffled all the students entirely because the very notion of the house system was intended to be able to allow connection, to be a sort of a hub in which we bring students together across grade levels to give them opportunities to learn leadership, service, to build our community, to have joy. And certainly much of the time that is spent in competition. It guided the competitions of our back-to-school camp. It's guided some of the competitions we've had this week. And it's been fun to see some of these pep rally sort of events that we've had in the afternoon, but even throughout the day, various opportunities to see our students build their houses, to build a sense of joy here on campus. Now, long term, we do want to see our house system, these 6 houses, to be able to develop opportunities for service, to partner our houses with local nonprofits, international nonprofits, where service and the opportunities to serve is not merely just something that is a box that is checked for the purpose of a service requirement, but that we can develop a pattern of relational service where houses can have a passion for a local nonprofit and sort of have ownership and take pride in a local nonprofit and represent that local nonprofit to our school community. Because we do believe that much of this desire to further Christ's kingdom through what we're doing here at FCA, it requires that we invest into our immediate community. We want the communities around FCA, Franklin, the greater Nashville area, to be better because of FCA. In the same way that Jeremiah the prophet said to God's people in chapter 29 of that book, that God's people are to seek the welfare of the city. And in many ways, the house system can be shaped in such a way that it can breed more opportunities for service. It's also a fabulous opportunity to be able to nurture leadership, to pour into our students, and as they grow through the house system, not only are they learning to care for students that are younger than them, but to actually teach some leadership skills. So it's a community building mechanism, it's a leadership building mechanism, it's a fun building mechanism, it's a service building mechanism. And so I'm deeply thankful for that work that Mac has been putting in. And yes, we did make a move to the 6 houses because we felt that in order to do it well, part of the necessity of a healthy house system is that students are known within their houses. And as our school has grown to over roughly 400 students, that would be over or roughly 100 students per house. And we felt that in order for students to be known, we needed to be able to shrink the overall size of those houses. And so that's part of why we made that shift. And we've created new names, and we even have some new images that come along with that. We're working on some logos to go with the houses. In time, we would love to see some slogans and some verses and some mottos, and then to give the students some challenge to be able to figure out ways to reflect the virtue of that house that we've attached to that as a name, to reflect that back into the overall school community, potentially even to give houses responsibilities for how those houses can care for the school in new ways. And we do seek opportunities for even our families to be a part of the house system life of the school. So we do have new names for our houses. Those names are compassion, courage, honor, loyalty, perseverance, and unity. And the students helped speak into some of those virtues that we say, what are some of those virtues we want our students to be able to have that becomes part of the core values of who we are as a school? Yes, we do have a larger vision and mission. We have a pillar. We have 3 pillars by which we say these are these central ideas, but we also have these values we want to see that filter throughout the school that are saturated on the day in, day out rhythm of our school. And so it's exciting to see this house system that we've had for the history of our school, but to see sort of a refresh to it, to see a revitalization, and to provide new opportunities. And ultimately, there is a competition component to it, as these students will be competing over the course of this year for the Harris Cup, which will be the celebratory opportunity for the students this year. So that's kind of guided much of what we're doing this year at FCA as part of our homecoming week. And yes, there is a homecoming dance on the end of the week. And yes, we do have a game this Friday where our football team will be competing against Clarksville Academy. You're going to notice some differences here. We're going to have opportunities for the alumni to have a place to fellowship here on campus. You're going to notice a change to our scoreboard. I want to take a moment to hear a few of our voices on campus to talk some about the scoreboard, because that is a change. We've noticed there's been a need there. And so I want you to listen to some of the reasons why we've made a few additions, some improvements to our scoreboard. I think you'll notice when you come on Friday, the upgrade is going to be a huge blessing to our school. FCA families, I'm so excited to be able to stand here in front of our new video board. If you've been to many of our home games, you've noticed that our scoreboard's not been fully operational. And yet, here we are as work is being done on this new board. And we're thankful to those who have allowed us to be able to do this work, who have given to the school to allow us to advertise, to be able to tell our stories, to be able to speak very boldly about what God is doing here at FCA. We're thankful for Score Vision. We're thankful for the ability to have a wonderful experience here with some of the best in the business. We can't wait for you to join us here for our games, not just during the football season, but throughout the entirety of our year here at FCA, to see what God is doing, to see this beautiful new board that we have here on campus, and to rejoice in those that have been able to give us this opportunity, and for those to be able to even more fully see who we are here at FCA, to rejoice in what God's doing, that we may further His kingdom through discipling our students through what happens here on this very field.
Well, we're excited. Personally, I'm excited for a lot of different reasons. One, we obviously want to, it adds to our game day atmosphere, what it'll be here on Friday nights or Thursday nights with soccer games. Just any home field event here at Bass Field will be an awesome addition. Also excited just for the chance for you to get to tell the story of FCA. We're right here. It looks at Matt Catcher and the number of cars that go by each and every day for all our student body, all the vehicles that are going by. We get the chance to talk about FCA, share what God's doing here at FCA. So that's personally the top 2 reasons I'm excited.
Well, and Coach, I would add to that, I know we're both excited about an opportunity for our sports marketing students to be involved in this. Obviously, the game day experience, you see this at football games, but for our students to create the content and use their skills and develop some skills, because these are things they're going to use beyond being here at FCA. So I love that skill development, and it could even lead to a career.
Absolutely. So God's timing is pretty awesome. It's fun to watch. We came about this board, so we had some current issues with the board that we had just not working, not fully functional. And then in God's timing, brought to us a friend of the school, a partner of the school that had been a partner in the past, and going forward was willing to donate the money for this board that is behind us. And so that'll allow us to do all the things that we've spoken about. But it really is God's timing to sync up just the issues we had with presenting a resource and to be able to fill that hole.
And it really speaks, Coach, to what's happening here at the school, that someone sees a need and they step up and say, not only we would like to help give you a board, but let's give you one that really is going to allow that atmosphere to improve that you talked about, allow us to tell the story of FCA, and then let our students create that content on the board.
And having an improved video board like this gives us a brand new opportunity for us to be able to proclaim to the onlooking world who we are, to tell the stories, to put into visual packages the different aspects of the life of FCA, the vibrancy of our school. We are so excited, and that friends of our school have come to us and have allowed us to make this happen. What a great blessing that we are where we are to be able to have this way of telling our story. And at the end of the day, that is one of the things that we care most deeply about. To be able to tell the stories of God's faithfulness. God has richly blessed our school. And it's not by chance that the families who have come to our school are here, or that the teachers who have come to our school are here. God has, in His great sovereignty and His great goodness, knit this school community together. Homecoming week is an opportunity for our students to grow. Yes, we care deeply about the learning that happens in the classroom. And of course, we are going to continue to say, how do we get better even there? But we also know that learning happens in community, that's where life happens, that's where growth happens. It happens in community. And so we care deeply about every single opportunity to nurture vibrancy, to nurture joy, to nurture relationship, because that's where change happens. Because we do believe that in order to further Christ's kingdom, in order to disciple students, to love God and to know who they are and to engage the world bravely, that it's going to happen when there's relationship. That we have a full program here at FCA that is grounded in truth, that seeks to see students transform through relationships, and that we're constantly looking to ways to solidify what they've learned through experiences. It's why we have the community that we do. It's why we have a middle school and high school, even the size that we do, where we want our students across grade level to be able to celebrate together, to fellowship together, that we may all come together to know the beauty of the gospel, to know the beauty of being a part of God's people here in this community of FCA. What a great blessing it is to celebrate our alumni, to hear their stories of God's faithfulness, and to look to the future for what God will do in the lives of our students who are here currently, for Christ and His kingdom.